Sup YouTube, this is Random12multi here, and we got a Wi-Fi battle against Dbzmariogeno, and we are actually really good friends slash rivals in Pokemon. And so I'm gonna lead off with my Seaweed, aka Lily Eviolite, and he's gonna lead off with his Chandalure. And here the battle begins. So he's gonna go for an overheat, and I'm thinking, okay, I can take this. But unfortunately for me, he gets a crit, and that crit did matter, in fact. So I faint. I'm like hacks. So here's where I go into my Intimidate, knowing I can take him out. So he withdraws and goes into his Haxorus, and he has a Mold Breaker, and my Intimidate goes for a Dragon Dance, and that Dragon Dance is gonna help me a lot in this game. But sadly, I went for an Ice Fang here to take out his Haxorus, and his Haxorus died. Not from hacks though. So I get a Moxie Gyarados. Works great with Life Orb. So he goes into a Stone, and I'm like, oh no, this can actually kill me if it hits Stone Edge. So I go for a Waterfall to hopefully take it out, and unfortunately for me, he does manage to live, but he misses the Stone Edge, which is a good part for me. So he went for the Mach Punch. Here I should have gone for a Dragon Dance, knowing he would have died from Flame Orb, but I just went for the Ice Fang to take him out, just in case he went for Stone Edge again. So I get another attack race from Moxie, and I do lose some HP from Life Orb. So he's gonna go back into his Resonor, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I can outspeed it. But no, shockingly, he outspeeds me. So that tells me he's Scarfed. And I do live a Chandalure Stab Shadow Ball, crazy enough. So I go for that Waterfall, and it does kill him. But sadly, it also kills me due to Life Orb and that Moxie. That big Moxie. So I do die from Suicide much. So he goes into his Bat, and I go into my Needle Boss. His Bat is going to do some scouting, and luckily for me, I am able to resist that U-turn well, and he goes for that Thunderbug, and that Thunderbug is going to cause some problems later on, but I think it does. No, I don't think it does. So I went for an Ice Beam, and here he predicts well and switches back into the Bat, or he switches into the Bat, and I went for a Flamethrower, and he predicted, and it does a decent amount. I have 308 health. He gets his Poison Heal up with the Toxic Orb. He goes for that Earthquake. I'm thinking I could have outsped him, but man, I was wrong. And so I do die from that Earthquake. Sadly enough, Needle Boss couldn't live. So I go into my big Troll Meloetta. This is OU, by the way. And I go for Physic, because knowing I'm more bulky in this stage, and I do take out a decent amount of health, but he does Earthquake right back at me. And he does get his Poison Heal up, but I'm like, that doesn't matter, I'm gonna kill you anyway. So I go for that Physic, and that Physic does KO him. 2-hit KO with this. So he goes back into his General's Bat, and I switch out knowing he's gonna phase me or something. No, scout me. So I go into Mr. T bag, and he goes to that Brave Bird. I'm like, oh, so he thought I was gonna do Relic Song. And so I do take the Brave Bird, okay, but not so much. So we both get Lefty's recovery, which is a good thing. And he's gonna go for that taunt, thinking I'm gonna Swords Dance, but no, I went for the Dual Chop, thinking he'll switch into something else or try to go for a substitute. But it did an okay amount of damage without, you know, Swords Dance or anything, because with Swords Dance it does a lot more. So we both got Lefties. He goes for Roost. And man, let me tell you, Roost on Crobats are annoying. So I go for that Foul Play to get some damage off of him, and that does a lot actually, more than I expected. So he so he's back at health. He goes for that U-turn now, knowing I am a threat. And here's where he starts switching between his last two pokes a lot. I went for that foul play just to see if I can take this thing out, but shockingly he lives. And it was a crit too, so I'm like, oh man, imagine if that wasn't a crit. He would have taken it like a boss. So anyways, God, I just got startled. Anyways, he went for that attack, HP fighting, I think it was. And then I go into my zap, and I actually, well, yeah, I went for a flamethrower here, thinking he would stay in, but no, he actually switches, taking it and living. And so, knowing he outspeeds me, he is going to, you know, do a lot of damage. So here's where I go for the T-bolt. He's thinking that I'm scarfed, but I'm not. I have a hidden item, and I got an unnecessary crit because knowing that would have taken him out anyways. So he goes back into his Thunderbug, his final Pokemon, his signature Pokemon, and I just decide to flamethrower that for the win. And so, good game. See you next time.